Shem Angel 72, Mumia. Hello everyone. Today we've reached the final Shem Angel. And it's a very interesting angel. This particular angel is said to be able to protect in magic operations. So this angel is able to give protection in magical operations and is able to help to bring all experiments to their conclusion. This Shem angel is associated with endings and with rest. So it's interesting that the last of the 72 Shem angels, the last and final one that concludes the entire cycle, this Shem angel, Mumia, governs endings and rest, grants protection. Just sometimes many people believe and have experienced that some magical operations can be dangerous. So it's interesting that Shem Angel 72 is said to help provide protection in magic operations and to bring experiments, all experiments, to their conclusion and success. So it's a very interesting angel. An angel, and people don't have to cycle through with the sun. You could work with any Shem Angel at any time. So it's interesting, if you're performing a magical operation, you could call upon Mumia to help protect you in the operation and to help, because sometimes an operation as a process can help to bring the experiment to its conclusion. So let's take a look here. Mumia, the divine attribute. The divine attribute is God, the end of the universe. The end of the universe. So it talks about finality. The end. God, the end of the universe. And it shows that the beginning and the end of the cosmos is the divine presence. So this Shem angel, the divine attribute is God, the end of the universe. I don't have my notes. Deus finis universorum, I think, is Athanasius Kircher's Latin. God, the end of the universe. So again, the Shem angel name, the psalm verse, and the divine attribute, these three things help us to plug into the energies of the angel and to have a communication and an interaction with the angel. The name, the psalm verse, and the divine attribute. The divine attribute shows the aspect of the divine that shines through each angel, according to Shem angel lore. And the divine attribute, which we get from the 17th century Oedipus Egyptiacus of Athanasius Kircher, the divine attributes probably are older, but the first written with these attributes is in the 1600s. God, the end of the universe. So that is a mystery. These things are mysteries. These things are there for us to ponder, and they help us to bring us closer to the angel. It's like someone throwing an anchor to land and trying to pull the land towards them. They end up really pulling the boat towards the land. So in us trying to call out, we're bringing ourselves up towards the angel. And what is the pathway to do this? What is our ladder? What is our structure that helps us to climb and ascend? The ladder is the name, attribute, and psalm verse. These things are there for us. You know, I encourage people to, with the contemplative approach to the Shem angels, to do the 72 repetitions of the name, attribute, psalm verse. So this angel is said to protect in magical operations. This angel, so you're doing some type of other magic operation, you can call upon Mumia to grant you protection and help you in the experiment to bring it to a conclusion. I'll be right back. Let me get my notes here. All right. All right. As scholarly as I like to believe I am, you know, I gotta look at my notes sometimes. All right. I don't really think I'm that. I'm just kidding. All right. Just being silly. So God, the end of the universe, and it's the last Shem angel. So that's really interesting. So let's take a look at this. Yeah, Athanasius Kircher's Latin has Deus finis universorum, God, the end of the universe. And the Psalm verse in the Masoretic text is Psalm 116, verse 7. Return unto thy rest, O my soul. It's like death in a way. Return to your rest, O my soul. So the divine attribute is God, the end of the universe. It's the 72nd Shem angel. It's the final Shem angel. It ends the whole series. 72. It's the final. It's the end of the Shem angels. And the divine attribute is God, the end of the universe. And the Psalm verse, return unto thy rest, O my soul. So it's like once you finish your life, you know, what is the final end? Return unto thy rest, O my soul, for the Lord hath favored thee. So, you know, people come from all kinds of different backgrounds with Shem angel magic, especially nowadays. We're not in the 1700s anymore. People come from different perspectives on what lies beyond and things like that. But at least for someone in the 1700s, 1600s working with Shem angels, it would certainly come to mind the divine promise that comes at death. We go to our rest to the blessed realm. Mumia, God, the end of the universe. That's pretty profound. The end of the universe. The end of the cosmos. What if the cosmos eventually came to an end? Not just an end of life or the end of a cycle, but the end of the universe. God, the end of the universe, is the divine attribute. Now, I try to never be dogmatic, but these are signposts, okay? The attribute, psalm verse, these things are not here to be dogmatic, but they are things for us to reflect upon and to think about, and they could help to bring us perhaps closer to the energies of the angel. They're part of the Shem angel lore throughout the centuries. So the divine attribute is God, the end of the universe. And the psalm verse is, return unto thy rest, O my soul, for the Lord hath favored thee. So it's like the soul going to rest. So let's take a look at what the 19th century text, La Science Kabbalistique, in French, or The Science of the Kabbalah, by Lazare Lenain. Let's see what he has to say. This genius protects in mysterious operations. This genius protects in mysterious operations. And that's often interpreted as whatever magic operation you're performing, Mumia could be called upon to help protect you. So this genius protects in mysterious operations. It makes all things succeed and leads all experiments to their conclusion. This angel leads all magic experiments to their conclusion. So this genius protects in mysterious operations. It makes all things succeed and leads all experiments to their conclusion. It governs chemistry, physics, and medicine. It influences health and the longevity of life. Now, unfortunately, life is at least in this physical existence, is not forever. There is an end of life, just like there's the end of a Shem angel cycle. So this idea of medicine, which is keeping the body operating, and also medicine and the longevity of life. Maybe someone's not ready for their end. Maybe someone's not ready for it to be the end. They'd like longevity of life. They'd like to have long life. And I would say this angel has to do with endings as well. Shem angel magic is never about being dogmatic. It is an ongoing experience with the angels. So I encourage people to work with MUMIAH and see for themselves with their direct experience. It's like a divine revelation. It's like being struck with lightning in a way. I hate to put it that way, but your whatever theories we can have, the direct experience is really what it's about. So, you look up a Shem angel in an online encyclopedia, it'll give you the attribute, psalm, verse, office. But really it's about the direct experience. It says the person born under this influence will be distinguished in medicine, will become famous for marvelous cures. Again, curing in medicine. Will reveal many secrets of nature, which will make the children of the earth happy, and will devote his or her vigils and care to relieve the poor and the sick. So, and I would also say that Shem Angel 72 Mumia, that this angel that we're talking about here, I also believe that perhaps this angel can help people to cross over. The finality of life, the end of life. Mumia is about beginnings. And it's right there in the psalm verse, return unto thy rest, O my soul. So, if someone is is transitioning into the other, or someone's dying or passing away, right? Someone is in their final stages of life and they're passing into the other realm. Mumia governs endings and longevity in medicine, but also I would say the passage, the final passage. So it's a very interesting Shem angel, and we've concluded this series. I've made a video on each and every Shem angel, and, not to throw bouquets at myself, throw roses at myself or anything, but I did go through the Latin text, which I upload PDFs of Oedipus Aegyptiacus, and I went through and I researched individually. I didn't pull these stuff out of books, many texts, but I went and I looked in the 1600s material. I looked in De Arte Kabbalistica. And I went through and I found all the information that I could find throughout the centuries. And I've put them all with the Shem Angel posts. And I try to go over it in these videos. So we're trying to be historical, but not dogmatic. We're trying to understand the Shem Angel lore as it's been passed throughout the centuries. We come to understand. Now, by the way, since we're on this topic, and we're wrapping up the series, someone left a comment on YouTube. And I don't like to name people if they don't tell me to name them, but so this is important. The person asked me, why is there no Shem Angel from March, the last 5 days why isn't there one, was it March? Let me take a look here. This all goes back to, there's no Shem Angel. The person said, why is there no Shem Angel from March 15th to the 19th? There is. Okay. The Shem Angels, all the way back to Agrippa and the earliest writings on the Shem Angels, the Shem Angels govern the 72 quinries of the Zodiac. They don't govern days. They govern the quinries of the Zodiac. So, the quinary, the deacons, there are 36 deacons, 10 degrees each. Each deacon has 2 quinaries, so 5-degree sections. So, for example, Vehuya governs 0 up until 5 degrees of Aries. Okay, and then you have all the other Shem angels. Mumia governs 25 to 30 degrees of Pisces. By the way, I'm late. I'm just going to admit it. It's like the last day. Tomorrow's the equinox. I'm on the last day of the Shem, if you're following this cycle. But I'm gonna be honest, I've been very, the Shem angels are very important. I've had a lot going on though, and honestly, I'm happy to conclude this. It's been a long journey. I am a little late though, but anyways, the person said, why is there no Shem angel from March 15th to 19th? There is. MUMIAH. What happened was, if you follow the quinaries of the Zodiac, there's always, and you don't have to follow a cycle, every day of the year, there's a Shem angel, okay? What happened was, in the 1800s, Lazare Lenain, I appreciate this book for the offices, but there's a lot of stuff that I don't think really, is the tradition. He changed a lot of things, and that could be fine. But instead of the quinaries of the Zodiac, this book, Lazare Lenain, he tries to fit them into five day. Each Shem angel gets 5 days. He tries to fit it into days. Each Shem angel gets 5 days. 5 times 72 is 360, not 365. So because Lazare Lenain in the 1800s tried to give each Shem angel 5 days, 5 times 72 is 360. There are 365 days in a year. So instead of the quinaries of the Zodiac, this is the confusion. He tried to fit them into days. And so he gives the last 5 days to the 4 elements and to God. Now, that's fine if people want to do it. So if you want to find your birth angel this way, you can. But the way that I talk about the birth angel, and they're actually, well, it's a whole can of worms, but the sun, where is the sun in the Zodiac? All you have to do is download any kind of astrological app and just look at what degree is the sun. It's that simple. What is the current degree of the sun? And then you always know what is the Shem angel. So it's not true according to the tradition that there's no Shem angel from the 6th. It's Mumia. This year it's Mumia. Okay? So that's that. So he tries to fit the Shem angels not according to the quinaries of the Zodiac, like Agrippa says. He tries to fit them into 5 days. So there's 5 days left over. So that's the reason for that. My way of doing it in these videos is you want to find your birth angel according to the sun degree. Then my approach is to go look at what degree the sun was at your birth. Go to your natal chart. What degree was the sun? And then you could see the Shem angel. So anyways, wow. It's been a long journey. Mumia, the final Shem angel, 72. This angel can protect you in magic operations. Things that have nothing to do with this angel, you're doing something else. You're doing whatever type of magic. On the side, you can light a candle to Mumia and say, hey, Mumia, recite his name, attribute, psalm, verse, say, Mumia, can you protect me in this operation I'm doing? And he could help to bring success or help the process of the operation, to bring the operation to the conclusion. That's not saying that Mumia is a personal genie that'll make any magic operation happen. I don't personally think it's that way. Oh, the spell didn't work. Well, Mumia didn't. I would say he helps to bring it to conclusion. It could help and also grant protection. So Mumia, the divine attribute, is God, the end of the universe. The psalm verse seems to have to do with the soul returning. Return into thy rest, O my soul. The Lord's dealt bountifully with you. And this angel protects us in operations of magic. This angel helps to bring experiments to their conclusion. And also governs medicine and the longevity of life. And I would also think the finality of life. Maybe someone is crossing over to the other side. Or maybe someone knows that the end, some people may know that the end of their life in this world is about over. Mumia can help you to kind of take that journey. The Gematria, you have to be careful with Gematria. Here's the thing about the occult, okay? There's a lot of information in the occult. it's important to look at all the information, but not get too stuck up on things. Here's the thing about Gematria, okay? Gematria is useful and interesting. I think it's good to use, but we can't get hung up on Gematria because you can make any word. You can make just about anything add up to something else if you manipulate the word enough or the letters or whatever. Okay? So just because a word backwards is this, people get too hung up. A lot of times it's ridiculous and they're just spouting nonsense. But let's take a look at the Gematria with an open mind, okay? Just because this word equals this one, my opinion, doesn't mean they're the same. But it's interesting. It's something interesting to look at. Mumia. The Gematria of Mumia, Mem is 40, Vav is 6, Mem is 40, that's 86. And then you add Yud He, 86 plus 15 is 101. So think of it this way, 100, that is a cycle in the decad system. 10 is a completion of a cycle, 100 is a completion of a cycle. It's 101. So you came around to the end of something plus 1. You're no longer where you were at the beginning. You're at a deeper level. So 101, we could think of this, 100 is a completion of a cycle. 101. It's not the same as it was before the completion of the cycle, okay? So that's something to think about, right? At the conclusion of life, for example, we're not the same as we were before we were ever born. There's that life experience that we bring. Also, interestingly, now, I do not think they're the same, but it's interesting that 101 is also the Gematria of Michael. Yeah, St. Michael, Michael. Michael is Mem plus Yud is 50, plus Kaf, so plus 20 is 70, plus Aleph Lamed plus 31, it's 101. So Michael, it's interesting. I don't think they're the same angel. But I think it's interesting that Mumia and Michael have the same Gematria. Also, if you take off the Yud He, Mum, it's 86. And that's also the Gematria of Ehye Adonai. Now, if we do look at this Kabbalistically, Ehye is often associated with Keter, and Adonai with Malkut. So the beginning and the end, Ehye and Adonai, Keter and Malkut. It's just interesting to think about. Also, Chamula in Hebrew, 86, the rustling of wings. Also, Hallelujah and Elohim equal 86. Also, there's a word in Hebrew, I forgot what it is, but it means nature. So it's interesting. God, the end of the universe, final rest, the end, and protection, and helps us to look and peer into the mysterious things in nature. So that is Shem Angel 72, Mumia. Thank you so much, everyone, for joining me. I really appreciate everyone that's been on this journey with me, and I hope everyone has a wonderful day. All right, have a great day, everyone. Thank you for being on this adventure with me. And we're gonna begin again, right? It's the end of a cycle, and we're gonna have some new stuff coming on. So, anyways, so that's Shem Angel 72 Mumia. Thank you for joining me, everyone, and I will see y'all in the next video. Have a great day, y'all.